Bonjour! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Fasten up your seatbelt and enjoy this journey into Muse World with Lamia Norbert.
Hello, everybody. I know you'll think I didn't move from this place. It's just, I didn't move. But we are here in a new episode of Muse World. We have a new guest on board. I will call him the French way. Gerald is here with us today.
Let's go.
Gerald in English.
Yeah.
But I like Gerald.
I like that.
How are you?
Amazing. How are you doing today?
Good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have you on board.
I'm amazed. I'm glad that I'm finally here.
I love it. I remember the moment I messaged, I was like, hey, by the way, do you want to come on my podcast? You're like, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, okay, he's on. I love it.
I didn't even think twice.
I love it.
I didn't think twice.
I love it so much. And thank you for coming here.
It is a pleasure being here.
Thank you
It
for
is a
your
pleasure.
time. So, Gerald.
Yes.
Or Gerald, whatever you like.
Mia.
I want to know a bit more about you. Where are you from? Or how was a bit your childhood? And what brought you to Dubai?
Okay. So I grew up in the slums in Africa. No, I didn't actually.
I was like, all right.
We're about to get deep. No, actually. So I grew up in a medium income household in Nigeria. You know, we weren't well off. We weren't doing too bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had a pretty decent normal childhood. I studied in Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Nigeria. You know, studied my primary education and my secondary education in Nigeria as well. And then I moved to the UK to do foundation, and I started uni in UK.
Okay.
And then I was actually a very great kid, you know. I was excelling at my studies, and then I got depressed, and I didn't realize that I was depressed. My mom actually realized it, and she was like, "I need to get out of UK." And the plan was for me to actually go to Canada because we had some family friends there, and my mom was like, "Well, I would have had to wait 10 months to go to Canada," and my mom was like, "No, you're not gonna sit around the house and wait for 10 months doing nothing." So she was like, "Why don't you apply to Dubai?" I was like, "Mom, I don't know anybody in Dubai. We don't know anybody in Dubai. We don't have any family there. We don't have any friends there." She was like, "Just apply." And then, you know, I applied, got the what's it called? Admission. I got admitted in 3 days. By the next weekend, I was already on the flight to Dubai. So it happened very quickly.
Okay.
And that was 9 years ago.
What? 9 years? Okay.
That was 9 years ago.
Okay.
And you know, I've just been out here since then, you know.
And you never went to Canada, I guess.
And I never made it there.
Okay.
Never made it there. And I don't think I want to make it there, honestly.
Tell me, I can imagine because it's way colder than here.
It is actually, and I'm not someone that deals with the cold really well. I tend to just like stay indoors, and if I have to go outside when it's cold, I get angry.
Okay,
You know,
I hear you. So obviously now you've been in Dubai for 9 years. When you came here, what was your take of Dubai?
That's a great question, actually. That's a great question. So first of all, I give you a bit of a backstory, a bit of context. Since I was 16, I haven't been living with my parents.
Okay.
So I've always sort of had this, even before I was 16, I've always had this mindset of adventure. You know, I like to take on things. I like to see where it leads. So when I left home, it was an adventure for me being in the UK, you know. When I came to Dubai as well, it was the same. I came here with the same spirit of adventure, see what I can get out of it. You know, it was really fun for me. But yeah, I didn't have any preconceptions about Dubai moving here. Like I said, I didn't have any family. I didn't know anybody here. So I really didn't have any source of information about this land until I got here, you know. That was it.
Okay. So when you... Let's go back memory lane a little bit.
Okay.
All right. 9 years ago, you landed in Dubai. What month was that?
This was January. Are you the feds?
No.
No, I'm kidding. Oh, this is January.
Okay, tell me exactly what you've done. I have all your records right here. No, I'm
Damn.
joking. I'm joking.
She got me. She got me. No, this is January 2016. I landed
Okay.
in Dubai, January 2016.
So we're still winter time. Weather's good.
Yeah.
Um,
I was actually surprised that it was kind of cold when I landed in Dubai, because all of the knowledge I had was here is like the desert, it's really hot. So
yeah.
when I landed in January 2016, I was like a bit shocked that it was actually cold, you know?
Okay. So now because I remember my younger 4 years self being in the taxi, going to my hotel apartment, and I was like, wow, building, building.
You've been in Dubai how long?
4 years.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant your 4-year-old self. I was like,
No,
okay.
not my 4-year-old. No, Jesus Christ. Okay, my
how do you even word that sentence?
4 years ago, me. You got it. You don't go deep on that. If you got it, you got it. So
Yeah, okay.
that chick 4
Yeah.
years ago,
Yeah.
she was obviously in the cab. It was early morning flight, and I remember I came. It was hot. Hated Dubai. I just hated it. I was like, nah, I want to get out
Yeah.
ASAP. And then I fell in love with it. What was your first impression of the place?
Going back memory lane. What was my first impression? I think I liked it, actually.
You liked it?
I liked it because there was this guy, bless him. His name is Khalil.
Mm-hmm.
He was my first friend here. We were studying in the university together, and like I said, I didn't have any friends when I moved out here. But I liked music and I played the drums. So I remember I was playing the drums, and Khalil came up to me and he spoke to me, and we became friends. So that was a really pleasant experience, you know. And he introduced me to some of his friends, and you know, from there we just, you know, kind of got along. But that was sort of my first experience, because prior to that, I was lonely. I didn't know anybody. It was just go to class and go back to my hotel. I was living in a hotel back then. It was go to class and go back home. And then Khalil was the one that broke that cycle for me.
Okay.
You know, and it was a really pleasant experience. So I think that was like one of my first experiences here in Dubai, and it was quite positive because of this guy.
So you studied here, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. What did you study?
I studied computer science.
Nice.
Would you have guessed?
No. I was like, no. Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So I'm a computer scientist.
Okay. But that's not what you do.
No,
Oh,
I mean, like, it is.
You do it somehow.
It is. Because are we gonna segue into what I do?
No. We'll pause. Not
Okay.
yet. Because I'm still getting to know you, even though
Okay.
I know you, but my audience doesn't know you.
Okay, amazing.
So,
amazing.
okay. So you studied here, you did computer science and all
Yep.
of that. And now this is the place where you call home.
Exactly.
Okay. Now we can segment it to it. Obviously, I know you for being the founder of a health and wellness platform called Solu.
Yep.
That's your little baby.
That is my baby.
All right. So, for anyone out there, obviously it's a platform for women, but what's Solu?
Fantastic question.
And actually, before I ask you what's Solu, how did the idea of Solu come to your mind first?
Oh, it's about to get really deep. Are we ready?
Go on. I'm ready.
So, after studying in the university, I found myself doing jobs that I really didn't care about.
Okay.
You know, they gave me no fulfillment. They were easy for me because I had the skills. However, they gave me zero fulfillment. And I reached a point in my life where I was done doing things that didn't fulfill me. So I really wanted to stop doing the easy stuff and gain the easy money and actually do stuff that was towards my sort of my bigger vision for my own life, you know. And that was when I quit my job. This was in September of 2023. Took a bold step, quit my job. I didn't know what I was gonna do. You know, I didn't have any other jobs lined up. I didn't have any plans. I just knew that I wanted to find my way. That's why that was that was it. Fast forward a few months, the idea of Solu came about. And initially, it was an idea it wasn't even called Solu, and it was not even a platform. It was just me trying to help my mom improve her health and her well-being, and I was trying to put my skills together and things that I love together and try and create something. And that was what Solo was. It was just something to help my mom improve her health and
That
her
is
well-being.
so sweet.
Fast forward a few months, I did some research as part of it and found out that I could help more than just my mom with this, and this was when it hit me that this might be the thing of impact that I was looking for. So it transitioned from just my mom to helping millions of women across the MENA.
I love it. I love it so, so much. And it's so nice. I really like the idea that it started with your mom. It's such a nice...
It is.
It's like almost how do you say that? It's like a gift to her.
It is. It is. It is a gift to her, and it's also a gift to the world.
Exactly.
Because inshallah, it's going to help the world be better than how I met it. So it is a gift to my mom. It is a gift to the world as well.
I love that. So obviously, tell me, we know that it's a health and wellness platform.
Yep.
Were you always, because now I know that you were studying computer science at uni, but were you always into mental health, into health and wellness? Was that always part of your lifestyle, or was that something you started when you obviously wanted to help your mom?
It's always been part of my life.
Okay.
In some way. So if I backtrack a few years, or say a decade ago, I've always been going to the gym. The first thing is the gym helped me gain confidence that I lacked, So it wasn't even about health for me when I started off, However, being part of the gym, it helped me mold myself. It helped me gain that confidence and build certain aspects of myself that I didn't even realize that I lacked in certain areas of my life. And, obviously the gym is part of health. And this led me to want to understand more and more of my body, understand the limits of my body, understand the things all about my body. So this is how it transitioned from just being the gym to actually being a healthy human being, and from being a healthy human being is how can I help the people that I love live longer?
So how would you describe health?
I would describe health in 3 buckets, to be honest.
Okay.
3 buckets. So the first is physical health, which includes your fitness, your nutrition, the things that you eat. And then the second bucket is your mental health, which is obviously the stage of your mental well-being, your mental resilience, all of that stuff. And the third is non-conventional, but it is the emotional, spiritual dimensions of health. It has been overlooked for the longest time. However, it does not mean that it doesn't exist.
Exactly.
So this is how I consider health in 3 buckets.
I love that. So obviously, what I want to quickly go back to, you already mentioned that you were depressed when you were in London.
Yeah.
Do you think at that time you didn't have these 3 buckets filled?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, first thing is I didn't even realize that these 3 buckets existed.
Okay.
Right? That's the first thing. The second thing is maybe not that because I didn't realize that these 3 buckets existed, I wasn't able to prioritize filling those 3 buckets.
Okay.
But I definitely didn't have my mental health was in shambles. The weather was part of the reason. The weather was all gray and whatnot. And the kind of person I am, I like the sun. I like to feel the heat of the sun. I like to feel the sun on my skin. So I think lacking the sun in the UK the lack of the sun in the UK is played a really huge part in me not being who I am today.
Of course. Okay. I love that. So obviously, I'm just puzzling everything together.
Yep.
Now, when did your health journey start as for yourself personally? Like you mentioned, was that you were already in Dubai when that started?
Like I mentioned, it started for me 10 years ago. Actually, it's more than 10 years ago, in 2013.
Okay.
2013, I remember. as I mentioned, I didn't have confidence, right? So the gym for me was like a place of, building myself up. I was a really skinny guy before, quite skinny. I didn't have that confidence. So that's why I started in 2013 was when I started going to the gym. And back then it wasn't really about health for me. It was more about, I want to get some big muscles so I can be confident and all of that stuff. That was the inception of it. So I had that, and then I moved to Dubai in 2016. I was still going to the gym. But I think talking about my health and really taking it seriously, really for me started in, I think 2022 of June of 2022, which is when I decided to change my life around completely.
Okay.
I really decided to focus on those 3 buckets for myself, because again, I want to live long and be around for a long time, not just a good time, Before I was around for a good time, not a long time. So I was really like, drinking and partying and all of that stuff, way too much. But in June of 2022, I decided to change my life around and really fill those 3 buckets. And the result is a happy, healthy, and whole Gerald.
I love that. And how then, obviously, now I can imagine when you are fulfilling all of your buckets and you're feeling your best self, eventually your mom or your close family or anyone around you may feel that. They actually can feel that energy of you. Like, wow, that he's in great shape. Wow, he's confident. Wow, his spiritual is like next level and all of that. So obviously that inspired you to help your mom, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
And then now talk me through when the idea of Solu started. What were you trying to achieve? And how did you, when you got the idea of like, okay, actually I can help more than just my mom. Run me through exactly what happened in your head at that time.
Okay, I'll take you back to June of 2022. This was really the genesis. I almost said nemesis. Yeah, Genesis. This is the start of everything. I had a conversation with my older brother, and myself and him, we never really used to get along. But that conversation, I think that was like, it had to happen at that time.
Okay.
And it really pierced my heart, and that was when I decided to really change my life completely. And this was when I started to consider if I was doing work that was fulfilling for myself, if I was doing stuff because it was easy or because it actually meant something, Fast forward a few months to a year, I'd been really thinking of quitting my job to really do something meaningful for the world. I wanted to create impact. That was it. I wanted to create impact. Again, I didn't know what impact I wanted to create, but I knew I wanted to create some positive impact. I wanted to leave the world in a better way than I met it. So like I said, I quit my job and I had no backup plan.
Okay.
But I told myself, it's either I swim or I swim. I threw
I love that.
I threw myself in the deep end and I was like, I have to swim. I have to find a way. And, the moment that I found that Solu was something that could, like I said, it wasn't Solu at that point. There was no name for it. But the moment I found that Solu was something that could not only help my mom, because just like my mom, 75% of the women in the region are experiencing the same problem. If I can help 75% of women, that's helping. Women are the bringers of life. You're changing lives. You're helping families. You're changing the world by so doing. So for me, it was like, this is it, And when I found out that this Solu might be that thing, I doubled down on it. I stopped looking for what if this doesn't work out. I started to think, what if this actually is the thing that I was looking for? What if this is a thing? And then, like I said, I doubled down on my efforts and really went all in.
I love that. So obviously, what is it that you saw that was the issue with all of the women? If I were to ask you, okay, when after you've spoken to women, you've dealt with other women, you've analyzed a little bit of what's the issue in general.
I've been in love with other women.
You've been in love with other women. You've been surrounded by women.
Yeah.
What do you think is the common ground on that topic? And why do you think Solu is obviously the place to help women?
I love this question, man. I love this question. Every time I get questions like this, it helps me really like think about the why that we started. So to answer your question, the underlying factor is, I'll give you a bit of history lesson first of all. So women haven't always been in the workforce. Haven't always been. Go back 200 years, 300 years, women were not in the workforce, right? And now women have been thrown into the workforce, and there has been no consideration of the physiological makeup of the woman. The world that existed before women went into the workforce was created by men for men. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Right? And then women were thrown into it without any consideration of who the woman is. I'm speaking about this because Solu is more than just the technology. Solu is about empowering the woman, right? And creating consideration for the woman. That's what Solu is about. So it's beyond just technology. It's beyond just something that lives on your phone. It's beyond health and wellness. It's actually something that is empowering women, not just in the MENA region, but globally as well. So the reason I speak about this, I'm just giving a bit of history or a bit of context before we dive into it. If I owned a building, or if you owned a building that wasn't accessible to people of determination, for you to have people of determination actually function and work in that building or that office, you would have to put conscious thought into, oh, I need to take this wall down and put an elevator here, and I need to put a ramp there, and I need to do this and do it. So it takes conscious thinking, conscious thought, conscious efforts into building all of these things, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just put a person in a wheelchair in that building, they cannot move around.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, okay, go and move around, they cannot do it. So this is exactly, I'm not saying women are people of determination, but I'm just saying the world was built by men for men. And we take a woman and we put her in that world, and we tell her, figure your way out. It's the same idea. So Solu is about, how are we considering the physiological makeup of the woman? How are we considering the woman in the modern world? Yes, it was made by men for men, but how can we start to consider that women are not men? And how can we start to consider these people? If we want them to efficiently work in the same system as us, we must consider them equally as well.
Okay, I love that.
So now with that in mind, I'm sorry that I went a bit.
I like it. I actually like it. I love it.
I went a bit off course. Your question was, remind me your question again.
So obviously, what is the common ground, that like common issue that
yes.
you have seen across like women after, like obviously working with a lot of women? What is the common issue you think that women go through, and that you want to kind of help them to like? Fantastic.
Yeah. I think to answer that question, now that we have a bit of context, right? I think to answer that question, I gave you an example of one of our first customers. Her name is Aisha. I'm just using the name Aisha because of confidentiality.
Sure.
I'm not gonna reveal her name, but anyway, Aisha, mother of two, 34 years old, right? She was having issues balancing her work life, family life, and trying to be healthy as well. So this was causing chaos for her. So her health was the one suffering. Her health was the one suffering. She couldn't find a way to really balance her whole life, and that was when she found Solu, and one of our stress management programs and workshops was able to help her, alleviate her problems. We're also, using technology to find a way to personalize the experience of every woman on the platform. The same way your Netflix is different from his Netflix, and my Netflix, your health is something that's personal to you.
Of course.
So your health really should be different, personalized to you as well. So that's one of the things that we're really aiming for at Solu. So the underlying problem with Aisha being an example is, the inability to balance all of the things going on in a woman's life in the modern age and time. The inability to balance all of these aspects. Again, women are no more what they were 200, 300 years ago. This is a modern world. We need modern solutions for the modern woman, and that's what Solu is.
Okay, I love that. So, obviously, it's accessible to any women, yeah?
Yep.
So it's also, I have seen, and you have told me, and I am sorry I didn't get a chance to come yet.
I was about to.
You also create like community events. Yeah. And I am sorry I didn't make it, but I will make it. Promise. This is a promise. It's live on camera.
Okay.
But you've also been doing a lot of community event with the women part of Solu. So you've had, is it only with Solu, or are you inviting it to any women?
It's for every woman. You know, it's for every woman. And what we're also doing is we're not just doing these community events for women, but also partnering with other communities in Dubai, where we're starting from. And we're partnering with also other communities, you know, to bring life to the women. Like I said, health is more than just fitness. Health is more than just your nutrition. Health is the whole. We're looking at a holistic solution. So when we do these community events, we're really looking at how can we actually bring health? How can we bring life out of this woman? How can we empower her to feel like herself? So we do things like beach workouts. This weekend we're also doing a paddle session.
Yes.
You know, we do these hangouts and whatnot, but it's all about empowering the woman to feel like herself, to feel the sense of community, to feel the sense of belonging to something that wants her as well, to feel that warmth. That's what the community is about. And the good thing is, like I said, we're not just doing it in isolation. So it's not just a solo thing. It's more about, on a large scale, how can we empower other communities? How can we empower other women that might not be members of Solu? You know, how can we empower them regardless? That's what we're trying to do.
That's so beautiful, because you're still trying to help the women.
Yeah.
They don't have to be part of Solu, but
Exactly.
you. So let's go back to Solu quickly.
Yep.
Let's say I am a member of Solu.
Mhm.
I have my login details. I'm on the platform.
Yep.
What can we find on there?
Ooh, damn. The question is, what can't you find on the app? Well, you can find things that have to do with your fitness. So if you wanted to, similar to one of the big players in the region, I'm not going to mention their name because no free marketing. You can book you know, fitness sessions with coaches, with you can book yoga sessions, you can book group classes. You can also we're coming out with a new feature, which is the meal side of things. So being able to have a meal plan with Solu, and all of this is all included in your tracker. So your health tracker, you select what details are most important to you. So if your sleep is most important to you, then you might select that you want to see your sleep. So we're really trying to cover everything that has to do with the health of the woman, so that she doesn't have to go to this platform to track this and go there to see that and check there. And we really want to bring all of that data, all of that information to one place. And we also have future plans for things like menstrual tracking, and we're not going to sell your data like those other people.
Yes.
The company that sells women's data. We're not going to do that. Things like that. We're really big on creating something that is impactful in every way, shape, and form for the women.
I love that. So obviously now we understand how computer science is helping you.
Yeah.
Leveling up your app. So along the way of obviously creating Solu, like anything in life, you get obstacle, you get ups and downs.
Oh yes.
Talk me through that.
Oh yes. Man. I think Solu is one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. And I remember one thing is if you don't know something is going to be difficult, then you're more likely to achieve it because you don't know. I remember one of my mentors, he told me you could have picked anything else to build, but you chose the hardest thing. Chose the hardest thing. And at that point I was like, should I give up? But I'm the kind of person that gives up. It's swim or swim, that's it. Swim or swim, that's it for me. So there's been so many challenges with Solu. I think one of also the biggest challenges, I won't say biggest challenge was, I won't say it was the biggest challenge. I'd say it was a shocking realization and this is part of personal development as well, which I didn't have the opportunity to learn earlier in my life or in my career. So much of was rejection.
Okay.
Rejection. Am I allowed to swear? No.
Yeah. You can. No, you can swear. I will beep it out.
A whole lot of rejection.
Okay.
A whole lot of rejection, and not just from like investors or partners, but also from people that you're trying to sell this vision to. Rejection, and a person just has to realize that the idea is not bad. The goal is not bad. You are not the problem. A rejection just means there's something that you need to fix, or there's something that you can work on.
100%.
So a rejection only points you towards the yes. So the no's only helps you get better, whether that's with anything that you're building or with yourself. Only helps you get better until you get that yes. So this was a shocking realization for me. The amount of no's that will come. But now I'm a boss at taking the no's.
I love that. How did you navigate that? Like when you first got your couple of no's, did you just like, okay, I'm just gonna leave that? Like what's happened? Like how did you actually navigate? For example, for someone who, let's say, is listening to us right now and is struggling with no's.
Yeah.
What is the piece of advice you would give them?
Fantastic question. What piece of advice would I give them? I think the piece of advice I'd give them is like, just give up. I'm joking. No, really, I think it's the realization that no is actually inherently not bad. So I think if we're able to change the way we think about rejection, if we're able to change that, then we can accept more of the no's, because the no's are actually not bad. But it is because we've been programmed from a young age to think no is a bad thing, then we start to feel this way, that if a person rejects me more than once, or if I get rejected, then maybe this is not the right idea, but we just need to find a way to change our relationship with rejection. That's where it is.
I love that, because I had a previous guest on board and we were talking about how if we were just to switch a button and just change the way that we perceive things, you would see how many things we would do differently. And even the way, like, it's so easy, I'm the first one, to be like, oh my God, life is so hard. Like, why is this happening to me? What did I do to the world? And you name it. I have plenty of these.
Yeah.
But then when you just like take that switch, flip it, and you're like, okay, what is it trying to tell me? What is that obstacle, challenge, whatever that is, coming my way, trying to do for me? It's not why is this happening, but what are you trying to do for me?
Exactly.
And the moment you get that little switch and you're like, okay,
exactly, we're going to be able to take on more if we're able to just change how we perceive things.
Exactly.
So it's all about perception. Just to piggyback off what you said, there's an example that I like to use with my brothers and my friends, my close friends. There's one of my friends, he likes to really victimize himself. When stuff doesn't go according to how he would have liked, he's very quick to say, oh, why is this happening to me, and all that. And I say, bro, if this was happening to you so that you can learn and teach your child so that doesn't happen to your child, would you complain about this lesson? The answer is no, because I want the best for my child. Cool. This is the lesson.
Exactly.
So there's really so many ways to flip it. The main thing is just understanding that there's so many different perspectives and we have just one. right? So we can open our minds to so many different perspectives. We'll see that life is actually not that bad. It's actually fucking great.
I
you
know. Again, I just sometimes it's just taking a moment, taking a back seat, and then just like realizing, and like if you were to kind of sit back and then watch your journey from you a baby to you now, you'd be like, tap on the back. You did a great job.
Exactly,
You know?
exactly. We really get so caught up in life that we forget to really take a sit and just see what's happened so far, and like analyze the bigger picture. We get so caught up in the little things and work and daily grind and all of these things that we forget that, hey man, I've come a long way.
Of course.
I've come a long way. I deserve a pat on the back. I deserve a clap for myself. So life happens, and we really should always have the as part of our routine to take a seat back and just enjoy the show. Clap for yourself. It's not that bad.
I love it.
It's not that bad.
Now, that question has been eating my brain ever since I know about Solu. What is Solu? Why Solu? Why the name Solu? Is it someone's name? Is it a woman's name?
Is it my mom's name?
Is it your mom's name? Is it your girl's name?
No, unfortunately, no. So again, it was never it wasn't called anything at the time when I started, right? And then I got to the point where I was like, I need to name this something. There's two stories I like to tell about the name.
Go on.
There's the truth, and then there is the stuff.
The myth.
Yeah. But no. I'm a person that really trusts myself, and I trust in the signs that the universe presents to me, and I don't second guess it. Some people call it intuition, gut feeling, whatever it is. I was looking for a name to call this thing that I was building, and I wrote down a few names. One of them was, and you guys can steal this if you want, WLNS.
Okay.
So it was kind of like a shortened form of wellness.
Okay.
Right. There was that, and there was a few other things I wrote down, but none of them really was that to me. I didn't really feel the connection with any of those names, and I was just like, what do I call this? And there was a cup right in front of me on my table.
Okay.
There was a cup right in front of me, and the cup said Solu.
Oh, really?
The cup said Solu, and I thought about it. This is the solution. I am also building the solution to help women be healthy, happy, and whole. This is the name. The name is right there. It is calling me, and I felt that connection with it. So I wrote it down, and immediately I had a logo idea. Mm-hmm. I knew what, like, it was like I just knew, okay. and that was it really. That was it. It's been Solu. So it's really the solution to a healthy, happy life for the modern woman in the modern age. That's what it is.
That. So, how old is Solu now?
We are in February, so 16 months.
16 months?
16 months going on 17, yeah.
Oh, still a young baby.
Still a baby, but
baby's starting to walk?
Baby's starting to walk, yeah.
Guys, it's actually an app, all right? If you guys are thinking it's an actual baby, please.
Yeah, it's not natural.
It's his baby technically, but yeah, it is an application.
It is an application. It is a platform. It is my baby.
And you're enjoying it so far?
I am loving it so far. The challenges are always going to be there, whether with Solu or with anything that anyone chooses to do with their life. There's always going to be the challenges. Even if it was raising an actual baby, there's going to be challenges, but you cannot not love your baby.
Of course.
100%. Solu is teaching me so much about myself, and I'm learning and growing as a result as well. So I love the whole process. I love the whole journey of learning, and I love Solu and what it is doing in the lives of women today. So Yeah, I love it. I love everything about it.
So, on that note, what do you think you would say is in these 16 months from the first day to now, what is the most beautiful memory that you have from obviously the community you've built with Solu, or maybe was there anyone that impacted you immensely ever since you started this journey?
There isn't one person that's impacted me particularly. I think the whole journey has just, like I said, when you sit back and analyze the whole journey, I I I smile when I sit back and analyze the whole journey. There's been things like being recognized by the Dubai government. There's things like that that brought me.
Ooh, you
Yes,
recognized by the Dubai
exactly. So that brought me like
Okay.
real joy as well. There's also like the team members that these are other human beings that believe in your vision. So again, that is for me, it's like, wow, wow, you believe in the things that I'm speaking because this is my truth and you believe in it. It's empowering for me, you know. So I have a beautiful team. The journey itself has been beautiful. The people that I've met along the way have all been God sent people, even those that rejected, Solu, the idea, even those people, they're God sent as well. Because, when I look back at the journey, it's been a beautiful journey, both personally and business wise. So, yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but I hope it did.
It did.
I hope it
It's
did.
all these little things that added up to be
Exactly.
the best
Exactly.
moment from.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that very much. Obviously, now that we're at 16, what is obviously in 2025? I believe you've got new plans ahead for
Yeah.
Solu.
Yep.
What is the plans for Solu?
I think one of the biggest plans for Solu is expanding to Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
That's one of the biggest plans. That's what we're working towards right now. It's I can only imagine the challenges that's going to come with it, but I'm also excited for it as well. Solu is the biggest, or the goal for Solu is to be the #1 health and wellness platform for women across the MENA region and then eventually globally. So as part of that vision is expanding to Saudi Arabia and conquering that market and then expanding forward from there. So that's one of our biggest goals that we're working towards right now, expanding to Saudi, and I cannot wait. I cannot
I can
wait.
imagine. But then it makes me think about one thing.
Yep.
And that question just literally popped in my mind right now. I was like, okay, yeah, we're women.
Yep.
But we're all brought up from different cultures.
Mhm.
How do you deal with women from different cultures? Did you ever struggle with that?
I wouldn't say I struggled with that. However, I do understand that obviously different cultures, different mindsets, different in quotes traumas that we're starting from. We're all starting from different places in life. However, though, there's a base of we're all human beings.
Yeah.
There's that base, and as part of our biological makeup, there's things that we do like. There's ways that we are programmed, or shall I say wired. The woman is wired completely different to how a man is wired. So a woman has different motivations than a man. So regardless of culture and all of these things, on the base level, when it comes down to our biological wiring, women are very similar to each other.
Yeah.
So are men.
I get you.
So we're really going that route. However, though, another thing that we're doing is trying to be culturally relevant.
Okay.
So we're not just creating technology for everybody. We're really keen on getting to know the people, or rather the women of Solu. The women that we're trying to impact. We're trying to really understand where are they coming from, right? If we want to be the biggest wellness platform in the MENA region, we need to understand at least the women in the MENA region. We need to understand where are they coming from. what are we doing to understand all of these things so that we know how we can best attune our services, our technology, and all of the things that we're building towards who that woman is.
I love that. So now, before I obviously go towards the final segment of the podcast,
Yep.
one thing I would love to understand, and that is because I want to learn from entrepreneurs, I want to learn from people who start with their startup, basically. Obviously, it's a different vibe, and I truly, and that's, I always said that to a lot of people that I know that has their own startup.
Yep.
It's different to wake up in the morning and work for yourself compared to working for someone else, because you know that you can't call sick all the time.
Yeah.
You know that you've got goals, KPIs, you've got a lot of things to do. At the beginning, you start alone, and then you build with, obviously, you delegate and you build a team around, and then you know that, okay, I have a team and I have to give them a salary and all of that. It gives you that extra drive.
Yep.
You know, that I truly believe that I would always be, now that's me putting myself in your shoe, for example, even when days that, you know, you find it hard because you know what's the goal with your project, you will wake up every day and you will push through. You'll do that extra hours, you'll do those extra miles to achieve it. But give me your take on that, because obviously you've had the background of working with someone and then now working for yourself, you know? So give me a little bit about that shift and how you see things now.
Okay. First of all, just as you said, working for someone else and working for yourself is completely different. And the general public have a general misconception that working for yourself is easier than working for someone else. It's not. At least in the beginning, it's not. You know, because no one is calling you if you work for yourself. No one is calling you to get shit done. If you don't get it done, you're doing yourself. That's how we say it in Nigeria. You're doing yourself. You're not doing anybody else. You're doing yourself. You know. So it's completely different. Two different ball games. However, for me, what works for me, or how I like to think about it, is not even with Solu. I think about my life as a passion-driven journey.
Okay.
Right. So what are the things that I am passionate about, and what is my purpose? A purpose-driven journey. That's what I meant to say. What is my purpose? Right. Right now, Solu ties into my bigger purpose of serving humanity. Right. So every day, in everything that I do, I think of, am I fulfilling my purpose? Right. So there's days that I, obviously, as I'm a human being at the end of the day, there's days I will feel sick. There's days that I will feel sad. You know, there's days that I will be out of it. There's days I wouldn't feel like doing anything. Right. But those are the days that count. So if I can do the littlest I can do to fulfill my purpose, then I have done it.
Okay.
You know, that has given me fulfillment. And again, you know, being realistic, nothing in nature works 100% of the time. You know, nothing works at full capacity 100% of the time. In winter, trees die. You know, they die a death. So nothing works in nature at full capacity 100% of the time. However, you know, it's all about understanding yourself and understanding your seasons as well, because you're a human being. You're part of nature. You're not above nature. You're a part of nature. So it's about understanding yourself, understanding your seasons. When do you put out the most outputs, and when do you tend to put out the least output, and trying to maintain a sort of a minimum balance between all of that to make sure that in every single day you're working towards a purpose. You're working towards fulfilling something that's bigger than yourself.
I love that. That's
amazing.
Very inspiring.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you. So,
all of my music is
go on. I know you've been waiting to do that.
I don't have any music. I'd like to be a DJ though. I'd like to try and be a DJ.
It's never too late.
I don't think it's too late. I maybe this year. Who knows? Maybe this year. This might be the
I'll
year.
come. I'll
Yeah?
be that chick. You know when there's a DJ, there's
Yeah.
that chick in front of the DJ.
Yeah,
who's like,
exactly.
Yeah.
And when I don't have any crowd, I need just one person to show up, and that's you. Yeah,
Exactly.
you got me.
I got you.
Say no more. Say no more.
All right. So, thank you so much.
Of course.
Before I end, I
Yeah.
just want to quickly go through a little bit of a tradition
Yep.
that I have with the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I have what I call the what ifs
Okay.
and the rapid fire questions. But
Okay.
first, we'll do the what if.
Okay. So are the what if questions rapid fire or
No. Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
You can just answer the question. Just answer the question.
Okay,
Just chill.
Let's go.
Ready? What if you never moved to Dubai? Would Solu still exist?
100%.
What if someone else had created Solu first? How would you change how would the vision be different?
It doesn't matter if anyone creates it before or after me. I think this is the beautiful thing about being a human being, is that all of us are unique, and the moment you decide to put yourself, your soul into something and create something, even if it seems like a competitor to another platform or another business, the fact that you have put your soul into that makes it unique. Your vision, your execution of the idea is completely unique. And this is the beautiful thing about being a human being. We all create something unique.
Love that. Okay. What if every woman had access to the right wellness tools?
Yep.
How would that change society?
I think society would be so much more beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine, like, not having to, be so stressed in life, and know that? I think it will be a much more beautiful society. Honestly, I think so as well. Imagine coming home to your wife, and your wife is like so bubbly, and she's happy and she's healthy, and you have happy and healthy kids because that's coming from your wife. Bro, come on, man.
It's another life.
Come on.
I love that. Man out there, treat your woman well. Bring them to Solu. All right. Okay. What if Solu became a global movement? What would it look like?
I think that question should be when Solu becomes a global movement, because it's not if. And what that's going to look like is, the understanding that women are completely different from men, and we need to consider them in everyday life.
Yep.
And it will also look like a much happier place to exist, a much happier world to exist in. That's what it would look like.
I love that. All right, now we're moving to rapid fire questions. I'm trying to find a segment for that. I don't know. I haven't I don't know, maybe.
Wait, do you have the questions already?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go.
All right, ready?
Let's go. Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. One wellness habit you swear by.
Accepting yourself.
What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Nothing.
Hello? Like nothing.
I just wake up and do nothing.
Okay.
I don't touch my phone, nothing. I just wake up and be.
I love that.
Wake up and be.
Good. Biggest misconception about wellness?
The biggest misconception about wellness is that we have to fix ourselves. Biggest misconception. There's nothing wrong with anybody. And there's nothing to fix. It's more about understanding who you are so that you can bring that out into the world and express that into the world. And what works for you might not work for me. What works for another person might not work for the next person. So we're all unique people at the end of the day. So you're not broken. You don't need fixing. There's so much bullshit out there that makes people think that they are broken and they need to do this to fix their wellness, and they need to do that. No, sit down, understand yourself. That's the first, you're not broken. You don't need fixing.
I love that.
Biggest misconception.
I love that. Morning workout or evening workouts?
Lately, morning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's cool, right? I'm a morning person.
Yeah?
So yeah, I'm an early bird. All right. One piece of advice for anyone starting their wellness journey.
One piece of advice for anyone starting a wellness journey. What would that be? Like I said, I think it's just understanding that you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you inherently, right? That's the first piece of advice I'd give. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't even give advice because who am I? You don't need to listen to me. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to listen to me. However, though, I strongly believe that no one is inherently broken. There's nothing wrong with you. So if you start from that standpoint of I'm not broken, I just want to improve myself, then it's not a journey of seeking for solutions to fix yourself. It's now a journey of how can I grow this flower to be as beautiful as it can in the world, and that's a beautiful thing.
All right. And one last question. If you had to describe Solu in one word, what would it be?
The future. I mean, that's 2 words. That's 2 words, but
okay, future.
Future.
Are you sure? Yeah.
Al-Mustaqbal. Yes, future.
Okay, I love that. So, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Before I go, actually, I have one more thing.
You have a gift for me?
I have a gift for you now. So, no, before I move to that part of the episode, I want to ask you to, if there's any women out there that wants to join Solu, how do they join Solu? How do they get access to Solu? Any last message you want to bring out there for women?
Yeah, if anyone wants to, fuck with Solu, they can go to solu.ae. It's the same on Instagram as well, solu.ae. The website is the same, solu.ae. Really easy to remember. That's SOLU.ae. Really easy to understand.
Perfect. And everything will be in the description box as usual.
Everything will be there. Of course.
So, I recently introduced a tradition in Mia's World where the previous guest leaves a quote for the next guest.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to read out the quote. And then afterwards, as I will end, I'll pass over the book. So you write your quote for my next guest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a length is there a maximum amount of words?
No, you just,
because there's something that's in my head really recently, and I think I'd love to write that for the next guest.
It's that page long.
Let's do it.
Hold on. Before, let me tell you. So my previous guest left a quote for you saying, "How far can you travel to reach another point of view? It's a strange world we live in. Let's change it into something new."
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
All right.
So 1 page, right?
1 page. I'll give that to you. But before, thank you so much. Thank you for being on board.
Of course.
Thank you guys for listening. And on that note, I'm going to love you and leave you. And I'll see you in the next one.
It's been a pleasure.
Bye.